shocking suicide case has emerged from Bengaluru. Real estate mogul and Confident Group CEO C.J. Roy died by suicide yesterday while being questioned during an income tax department probe into his company. Think about that once again. There was an income tax probe that was taking place, and during that there is a CEO who has committed suicide. Now, sources are telling Times now that income tax officials had been conducting searches since the morning, and C.J. Roy arrived in the afternoon for the questioning. After nearly an hour of interrogation, he went into his office, citing that he needed to retrieve some documents, but instead he reportedly shot himself inside the room. He was rushed to the hospital immediately, but later succumbed to his injuries. Sources have further claimed that on the this was one of the raids of the IT that had already been conducted in December, and also yesterday's visit was only for follow-up questioning. The suicide has triggered political flashpoint. Let's also take you through what police officials are saying.
Today in the Ashoknagar police station limits, an incident has taken place wherein the Confident Group chairman and founder, he has reportedly shot himself dead. As of the initial reports, the soccer team, the ballistic team, all have come here. We are inquiring into it. We are taking up a case. The body was, the injured person was immediately shifted to a nearby hospital where he was declared dead, brought dead. Since last 2 to 3 days, the income tax team were having a search and search of this premises, but we are not aware of all the details. The team had come from Kerala.
So the tragic death of CEO C.J. Roy has sparked off sharp reactions from his family, who are alleging harassment and undue pressure during income tax questioning. His brother, C.J. Babu, has also questioned why businessmen are being targeted and has also named a senior IT officer. He claims that this particular IT officer is responsible for his brother's death. This is what the family is alleging.
Was he speaking about, sir, what kind of raids were being done, what they were looking at income tax department?
See, I will tell you this, in business, people who pay income taxes are around 2%.
Yeah.
4% is the salaried class. Remaining 93% does not pay any income tax.
Yeah.
I don't know why are they harassing the business people.
Okay.
This has to be looked up by the income tax department.
And has he taken any particular officer's name, sir?
I am telling you now, Mr. Krishna Prasad, Additional Commissioner of Income Tax from Kerala.
Okay.
He and his team, yes.
Okay, sir, was any of his cars also seized, sir?
No, nothing.
He must have had many challenges in his life through which he has come through. How do you see in back of that, because of harassment from like this, someone has to take their own life, and that is someone such established like as your brother?
He was a very strong person. Now I am not able to answer this question, what made him to take this decision, until I reach Bangalore and I also find out what's happened.
The Congress is politicizing the death of C.J. Roy. They are alleging that agencies under the Bharatiya Janata Party government are harassing citizens. The Congress party claims that C.J. Roy was a victim of BJP's politics, and they are also calling this a case of tax terrorism.
We have to take cognizance of this kind of harassment by the authorities, by the organizations which are here to protect us, but they are pushing us to the end of the life. I think the BJP's government is torturing, terrorizing the businessmen who are contributing to the wealth and the growth of the country. They have decided that it will be the monopoly of the BJP, monopoly of the BJP cronies. And I think that's why we have sacrificed another person who is C.J. Roy. He is the victim of the BJP's politics.
We're tracking more details with regards to the investigation. Statements of family members, as per sources, family members of the Confident Group chairman C.J. Roy are being recorded at an undisclosed location in Bengaluru. Investigators are collecting all these details, including when Roy was last in contact with others. My colleague Neha joins us on the phone line as she tells us about, she's joining us live. I also have my colleague Akansha with us. Neha's tracking the developments. Neha, I want to understand, a Kochi-born real estate tycoon, one of the wealthiest in Karnataka, who built an empire, a real estate empire of about 8,000 crore, dies during an income tax, when there was income tax questioning that was underway. This has triggered shockwaves. Tell us everything about C.J. Roy, the allegations that are now being made, and how there are questions that are now coming to the fore.
Well, that's right. In fact, questions now being asked about what really led C.J. Roy to take the extreme step there at his office in Richmond Circle, which he himself, in fact, had set up. Remember, of course, C.J. Roy quite literally having an empire of businesses here, having invested in several sectors, known to be one of the multimillionaires, of course, having started off quite small, not really born with a silver spoon as such, is what's being said. But even as we are outside the Bowring Hospital's post-mortem centre and the morgue right now, what is being said is that C.J. Roy's mortal remains, of course, are currently here where the post-mortem is being conducted. But what's being said right now is that the last rites are likely to be conducted tomorrow. That's what sources have confirmed to Times Now, that the last rites would likely only be done tomorrow, after other family members and loved ones from abroad and from other parts, of course, of the world arrive. Of course, one question that still remains unanswered is something that his family, something that his brother had hinted at, was that there was immense pressure on C.J. Roy. What kind of pressure? Well, that is what is being questioned right now. Of course, whether this was pressure of possible financial disappropriation, whether this was pressure in the form of, other aspects. All of this is something that's yet to be probed. But what we also know from our sources is that C.J. Roy reportedly stepped out, in fact requested time from the IT sleuths yesterday, went into his cabin, locked himself inside and reportedly shot himself on the chest. We're also being told from other local police sources who sealed the entire office right now, because a separate case has also been registered here by the Bengaluru police at the Ashoknagar police station limits based on the complaint of T.A. Joseph, the managing director of the Confident Group. He, of course, has said that there was immense pressure and harassment from the IT sleuths, and he's requested the Karnataka police, of course, to probe this matter very strictly. Government on its part saying that they are taking this matter extremely seriously, but we'll, of course, really have to wait and see what pans out and what really led C.J. Roy to take this drastic and extreme step.
And it also becomes important to trace those final few hours between 12 noon and also between 3 to 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock, it is believed, was when C.J. Roy took time to go to the cabin, and that was when he shot himself in the chest. Neha, do stay with us. Akansha is also with us. Akansha, take us through the complaint copy that Times Now has accessed. What does the complaint copy mention?
All right, let me take you through the complaint copy that has been filed by T.A. Joseph. Now, he's the managing director of the Confident Group. Around 3 o'clock, he goes on to detail the sequence of event. Dr. Roy C.J. arrived at our office in Bengaluru along with me. He came to give a statement to Income Tax Department. He used his cabin. A little later, he informed me that he wishes to speak with his mother. I went outside after about 10 minutes. When I returned, the security person informed me that Dr. Roy had instructed them to not allow anyone to enter the cabin. After about 10 minutes, I went to the cabin and knocked on the door, but there was no response. I realized that the door was locked from inside. Then we broke open the door and entered the cabin. Upon entering there, we found out that Dr. Roy C.J. sitting on the chair with blood on his shirt. We immediately found his body. It had become cold. We called for ambulance. The medical staff who arrived with the ambulance checked the pulse and found that there is no pulse. He was immediately transported to the hospital, which is in Bengaluru. At the hospital, he was taken into the emergency room. And this is the sequence of event as they occurred, is what he's detailed in the complaint copy. He goes on to say that we want detailed interrogation into the matter. Under what pressure would he have made this, taken this extreme step? So this point is quite important. Here he has detail on the sequence of the event, what really happened after 3 o'clock that afternoon. But he goes on to say that they want detailed interrogation into what pressure was put on him that led to this extreme step, is what T.A. Joseph, who is the managing director, he has filed this complaint with the police. So it remains to be seen what action will be taken. But as far as the complainant is concerned, they are hinting at pressure that was put on the Confident Group CEO.
Right. So there are allegations of pressure. The family is also making similar claims. Akansha and Neha, thank you for joining us. Let's also get you quick breaking news information that's coming to the fore at this point of time. Sources are also confirming that last rites of C.J. Roy will be conducted tomorrow. And as per sources, the family is awaiting the arrival of other family members and loved ones. So tomorrow, the last rites of C.J. Roy will be conducted. With that, it's time now for us to take a short commercial break.